What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rudy Rodriguez Shomot here, aka Rudy the Hammer, Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. You know how I do. This is the second part of my WNBA preview as I go team by team, and I'm doing them in any random order. I'm not doing them in any type of order other than a random order, and you will be surprised which team I do for each one I drop. Like I said, welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, proud to coming on the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomont, aka Rudy Hammers. We talk facts over feelings. Those of you who are back again, I appreciate y'all. Like the video, leave a comment. Make sure you pound the like button. And of course, leave a comment. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I greatly appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, let everybody know that you are here. Please do so. And leave a comment. So let's jump into the video. But before we jump into the video, as you know, I have a members live popping off to Tuesday night. That's tomorrow. It's after midnight already here, Sunday night. So it's Monday Eastern time. It's 12:38 Eastern time right now. Um, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Members live. Go from 9 to 10, and then from 10 to probably 11:30 or 12 Eastern time, we will do a full live. Members live is different from full live, and I'm going to be readjusting how I do the actual full live on top of that. I'm going to have a panel for callers. So I will be dropping the link in the chat for people to jump on, but you will be in the background, just letting you know. If you want to be a part of our members live, it's a small group right now. I'd love to have it grow more. But for anyone who subscribes or becomes a member at the $4.99 silver rate, you will get a free t-shirt. This will be the t-shirt you get. It will come to you beginning of April. I have ordered shirts. Inventory is coming in stock mid to late March. If you subscribe, become a member at that silver rate of $4.99 per month, I will send you a t-shirt. You just have to let me know, shoot me an email, or shoot me an email, come on now, the podcast at gmail.com, and send me your address, your name, your address, and then what size you want. I will have medium, large, extra large, and double XL, 2XL. So medium, large, XL, and 2XL. You let me know what size you want. It will be in the mail to you for becoming a subscriber, a member at that silver rate. And that's it. I appreciate it. Just wanted to announce that I did put that in the community room. But then, of course, you'll also get the all member content because I want to grow member content as well. Member live, which is a lot of fun. It's a more intimate setting. But when we drop this new big live, it's going to be done a little bit differently. So bear with me as I work out the kinks, but I'm sure it'll be on and popping on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after the member live. So let's jump into this video. Who is the next team I am going to preview? It is the Los Angeles Sparks. Yes, it is the Los Angeles Sparks. LA Sparks are in the building. Yes, they are. I have already said on record, I think the LA Sparks are going to be a completely different team this year. This is what makes the WNBA different, is that you can really turn your entire fortune around in one off season by making a couple of deals and having a few things bounce your way when it comes to injuries, people getting healthier, and what have you. Jumping off the bat, the Sparks have a new coach. It's Lynn Roberts. She spent the last 18 years coaching the Utah Utes. So she has a lot of experience. And this is a new roster. Obviously, start off with Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum was traded for. She is going to be a leader on this team that is desperately in need of a leader, which is a big thing for the LA Sparks. They didn't really have that. I mean, Dearica Hamby, I think, is okay in that regard, but Kelsey Plum is a fire starter. She's a firecracker. She's a fire plug. She gets you going. I mean, she's an irritant defensively. And realistically, the LA Sparks had a lot of injuries last season. They really had a bunch of injuries. It was not an easy go round for them with the injuries that they had to deal with. Obviously, you draft Cam Brink with the number 2 pick, and she looks good defensively. She has work to do on offense, as she only averaged 7.5 points per game, but her shooting was obviously poor. But defensively, she was blocking. She had 2.3 blocks per game while she was there, while she was able to play. Just having her back, getting that type of defensive presence from Cam Brink, I think is going to help them a lot. You also look at the fact that Azare Stevens did not play for half the season. She's 6'6". So you're talking about weapons on this team that were not on the court. So between Azare Stevens and Cam Brink, you're missing 45 games. Azare Stevens only played 20 games this past year. That's a significant chunk of games. And she's 6'6". So you're losing 6'6". You're losing 6'4". And you don't have much of a front line. You got Dearica Hamby, and that's basically it of as far as good players on a front line. You have a rookie in Rakea Jackson, who is now getting more experience playing ball in the unrivaled league. She's showing some skills to shoot the ball from the perimeter. She's athletic. She's long. She averaged over 13 a game last year on 45.6% shooting, 34.5% from three, over 80% from the line. So 13.4, 3.9, 1.5. I mean, you see the talent that Rakea Jackson has. She needs to control her attitude a little bit. She got thrown out of an unrivaled game the other day, which is literally ridiculous. I think it was yesterday. Ridiculous that she got Saturday technically. Ridiculous to be thrown out. I mean, just needs to control herself a bit. She is a feisty character, but definitely a really good athlete and becoming a good player. So she's coming back for her second year. Expect her to be better. Obviously, Hamby was averaging 17 and 9 last year for the Sparks. But the Kelsey Plum deal is big. You're talking, what did Kelsey Plum average last season? 18 points she had 18 points per game last year. Let me see what her exact stats were. The I will tell you that the stat boxes for the WNBA website are painfully bad, but whatever. Let's just pull it up through basketball. Let's see Plum stats. She averaged 14 a game last year's career. She averaged 14.3 for her career last year, 17.8 points per game, 42.3% from the field, 36.8 from three, 4.2 assists. So you have a fire plug, you have a starter for your engine, and I think her coming over is going to be a big thing for the Los Angeles Sparks. You can't minimize what she's going to bring to that team. You can't minimize it. People, yeah, we joke around, we mess around, we talk about curves and stuff like that, but Kelsey Plum is a good player. Kelsey Plum's a good player, and I'm sure, I know they made the trade, but I am sure that if Vegas really had an option here, they would have rather have kept Kelsey Plum than traded for Jewel Lloyd. I just don't think that trade's going to work out the way they hope. But with a group of young players, someone like Kelsey Plum is going to be really big for this roster. And then you look at other parts of the roster and the people that they have brought in. So you're talking about Azare Stevens and Cam Brink. Now you have 6'6" and 6'4" on your front line. You're going to start Dearica Hamby next to her. So is Hamby your small forward? Because right now you can run. I mean, the Los Angeles Sparks are going to be huge, like legitimately tall and long. And then you add in Plum, who's going to start at point guard more than likely, I would presume, even though she's kind of a hybrid combo guard. She's only 5'8". She's going to be your point guard. And Rakea Jackson can start at the 2. I mean, I'm watching Azurá Stevens in Unrivaled. I can't imagine they would bring her off the bench. So you have a huge front line. You have a big 2 guard. And you have a firecracker at your point. Like that's going to be a serious starting lineup. It's going to be, I mean, they're going to be able to, I mean, just from that starting lineup, think about this for a second. Kelsey Plum averaged almost 18, Rakea Jackson 13 and a half, Dearica Hamby 17. So that's 35, 48. Azurá Stevens, she averaged last season 10. So that's 58. Cam Brink, you're at 65. That's just your starting lineup at 66 points. Just your starting lineup. You've got Ray Burrell, who's playing really, really well overall in Unrivaled. She's very athletic. I mean, I didn't know anything. I mean, look, we can all sit here and talk about it and semantics, this shit and all that. Most of us didn't know who half these players were. So Unrivaled has given us another glimpse into players that you otherwise would not have seen, because I had no idea who Ray Burrell is, but she's 6'2". She's long. She's athletic. I don't think she's a great player, but she's a strong defensive player. She can hit a three from time. She can hit a three from time to time. If she gives you 7 points, like you're again, this is a team that's now got an offense. This is a team that now has a legitimate offense, and it's gonna be there will be differences. That for what they lost to what they got, it's like night and day, man. It is night and day. Let me pull this up real fast. Last year, the Sparks averaged 78.4 points per game. My guess, and that was third worst. Only two worse than that were Chicago and Atlanta. My guess is that the Sparks are probably going to average in the mid 80s, mid to high 80s, because they're going to be running. They got a young team and they're going to be running. So you consider that, and then you have coming off your bench, you have let's see who else we got here. You got Ari McDonald, who averaged 8 points per game. She's a backup guard. She could be a backup point guard to Kelsey Plum. You have Julie Alamand, who comes over from Belgium, who, you know, she was on the Belgium national team. She played in She played where was she last year? Where the hell is it? Oh, right here. She averaged 10 points and 6.5 assists. So you got 3 point guards. Heck, they're gonna have some decisions to make as to who starts. If Alamand finally comes and plays because she's listed on their roster, if she comes and plays, that could be a difference maker for them. I mean, there's a few other players on here. Okay, now there's another player, Annalie Malley. She's out of Australia. She's 6'1". She played in the what is it, the MBL or whatever the hell it's called over there. She averaged 12 a game over there. Looks like a pretty decent shooter. Now, she did play in college in the U.S., and her numbers in the college were not great. So what does that mean for Australian women's basketball? Don't really know. But let's see what she can do. Again, I'm not using her as an example. Odyssey Sims, I love Odyssey Sims. She's going to come off your bench. She's going to bring you energy. She's going to bring you aggression. She's going to do those types of things for you. She's a solid player, who will bring some action for. She will bring action for the Sparks off the bench. I mean, last year, she averaged what, 12.6 points per game. She played in 24 games between Dallas and Los Angeles. She averaged 10 points a game coming off the bench for actually started 10 games for Los Angeles last year. That's how much they were in need of talent. She started 10 games, played 15, averaged 10 points per game. She is a career 11 points per game. We shall see what she brings. I like watching her play. I know she has a pretty solid mid-range, and she's very, very aggressive. So when you look at this roster, like this is a strong roster. This is a very, very strong roster. They got some international players that might make the team, might not. We shall see what happens there. But I'm really looking for, and if you consider what they lost, let's just so you have a better understanding of what they lost from last year's team, which honestly wasn't much. So off the team, Lexi Brown, Laisha Clarendon, Zaya Cook, Crystal Dangerfield, Queen Egbo, Kia Nurse, Stephanie Talbot, Lee Rue. Like, this is nothing. This is nothing. I'm very, very confident in the LA Sparks. And I know in my power ranking, I picked them to be 4th in the WNBA, and I'm staying on that. I'm staying on that power ranking. They're 4th behind Indiana, Minnesota, and New York. And I got them at 4. I think they're going to make massive improvements, and their record is going to be, you're going to be like, who is this team? They finished last year 8-32, man. They're going to go from being the worst team in the league. And again, you have to understand how much they lost. I mean, even last year, Lexi Brown, she was out for like half the season because she deals with Crohn's disease. So you got her, and then she's in Seattle, going to Seattle now. You got her. You had Cam Brink. You got Azare Stevens. You got all these players that are out extended periods of time. Your second best player is a rookie in Rakea Jackson, and you don't have much guard play. Like, that's what they had to deal with. They had no guard play on this team last season. You look at their roster, they had nothing at guard. Ray Burrell, I don't know what she is. I don't know if she started games for them. She started 7 games. She averaged 6 points per game. That's why when people are talking about top 36, I think you learn that she's an athletic player who can play, but she's still a backup. She's not a starting level player. She's not. Clarendon started 21 games. I think she just retired, actually, if I'm not mistaken. But please don't hold it against me because I don't remember. Again, I'm not an expert in the WNBA, but I know talent and I know players. How much did Crystal Dangerfield started 18 games. I mean, this team just didn't have talent at guard, man. And that's why Odyssey Sims was starting at guard because they had no one else to put in there. But I like them to be in that 4th. So I'm still putting together records. I would be looking at the LA Sparks. What did I put in my phone when I was putting this together? Let's see what I have them at. I look at LA to be around 28-16, something like that. In that general 27, 26, 27, 28, 29 wins. Yeah, huge change. I know I'm going out on a limb on it, but I like the LA Sparks. I like their young talent. I love the trade for Kelsey Plum. And don't forget this, they still have the 9th pick in the draft. So for the people that were losing their minds over them trading their pick, they still have the 9th pick in the draft. That 9th pick, watch out. It's going to be a shooter. I'm telling you right now, it will be a shooter. There's one projection of Azzy Fudd at a UConn. She's a shooter. If she turns pro, another one. Remember, the coach of this team, coach at Utah. You got a player at Utah right now, Gianna Nipkins. Man, you got Gianna Nipkins is averaging like 19 points per game. She's a shooter. She's a player. She's their best player. I'm telling you right now, she's a junior. And now there's all kinds of speculation as to what she's going to do. Is she going to turn pro and jump in the draft? Is she going to stay at Utah? She's averaging 19 points, 5.1 rebounds. What she got? Probably about 4 assists. She shoots over 51% from the field, 45% from 3. If she turns pro, if she enters the draft, watch out for her to be selected at number 9. Watch out because she knows the coach and she's a gunner. And it doesn't hurt to have gunners on your team. It does not hurt. So watch out for that. So Azzy Fudd is the projection right now, but if Neepkins turns pro and doesn't either transfer for NIL money, because there's reports of she's going to get big NIL checks to go transfer, or stay at Utah for NIL check, whatever. If she turns pro, she might be the pick for from Utah to go to the Los Angeles Sparks to go back play with her old head coach at Utah. Those are my thoughts. That's where I've got the LA Sparks winning about 26, 27, 28, 29 games. I have it at 28-16 and finishing being the fourth best record in the WNBA. You let me know your thoughts. This is the second edition. I got a bunch more coming over the next couple of weeks, but this is my review of the Los Angeles Sparks for the 2025 season. And again, Members Live tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Jump on board. I appreciate y'all. This is Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. Come on now.